Homer actually sells his soul to the devil for a freaking donut. Can you believe that? Not even like a really, really good donut. It's a normal ass donut. You know, he didn't have a donut one day and he really, really wanted one. So he's just like, you know what, devil, let's make a freaking deal. And he goes to hell and he gets chopped up and turned into a hot dog meat. It's terrible. And then there's the ironic punishment of having to eat a million bajillion freaking donuts forever. For infinity, dude. Can you imagine eating all those donuts? Like, look at them. Like, it's horrible. Horrible donuts. But, like, fucking there he is, just eating them all. Like, Homer just eating all the goddamn donuts. Like, alright, bro, we see you. Okay. After Homer sells his soul to the devil for donuts, they have a trial somehow but it seems like that contract was pretty damn boilerplate, you know, like I don't know how the hell he would have gotten out of that. So it seems like if anything, Homer should get sued by the devil for some of that dirty business. But then it turns out he already sold his soul to Marge, and that's how he gets out of this predicament. And Devil Flanders is freaking pissed about it, and he's just like, you know what, Homer, I don't like how you did that dirty business, so I'm going to turn you into a goddamn freaking donut head monster creature thing. And it's one of the Simpsons lore's deepest, darkest secrets. Oh god, no, please. Oh, and he's eating his own head. God damn it, Homer. I've said it before, and I'll say that shit again. Halloween 3 is an intense-ass movie. Just watching the highlights, like the kills and like the gore and like the psychological terror are just gnarly in this movie. Like, I just get a sense of dread. I was gonna make more clips of Halloween 3, but I'm like, there's no way I can show these clips. Like, there's one where the chick gets shot with a laser and it's just gnarly. And you're like, I don't know if I can show that. And then there's one where the fucking has a goddamn pumpkin mask and then just bugs and snakes and shit start coming out of his brain, and you're like, what the hell is this? And you're like, this is really scary though. Like, it's a scary ass movie, which is what I love, but damn, like, it's just, I can see why people don't like it, but I can see why people should fucking love it. The Gremlin episode of Treehouse of R was awesome because Hans Moleman shows up and just steals the show with this 10-second cameo of him driving that goddamn ugly-ass green Gremlin, even though it's not that bad looking, and then he's just like, oh, he's fine. And then he fucking explodes. And then fucking Bart's got to deal with an actual Gremlin on the side of the bus, and I love the fact that nobody believes Bart, and they're just like, fuck you, Bart, we're so tired of your shit at this point of the show. And I'm like, oh, thank you. One of the most disturbing moments in all of Simpsons history is especially this lighthearted ass episode where it's just like, oh, Bart fucking found a gremlin on the car, it's just cute and innocent. But then Flanders finds the gremlin after it falls off the car, and he's just like, oh, you tried to claw my eyes out. And I'm like, alright, Flanders will take care of him and everything will be just fine. But Bart, on the other hand, has been driven insane by the sight of this goddamn gremlin thing, and nobody believes him, which is I loved about that episode. I love that nobody believed Bart's ass, and like, he just fucking gets what he deserves, and everybody laughs at him. But then you're like, alright, this is done. But then there's something else happens where the gremlin comes the fuck back with Ned Flanders' head, and it's just like scary as shit. Like, Stephen King's Pet Sematary is one of the scariest movies I'd ever seen. I saw this movie when I was very young, and it scared the shit out of me, honestly. And like, I remember this story very well. And there was a commercial they had back in the day for Stephen King's books and movies, and it had like a clip of the cat hissing and the stairs in the basement, and just like back in the day, Stephen King, yeah, the cat was just like the gnarliest freaking dude, and he just would just write stories that seemed real in a weird way, but also terrifying. Like, Misery seems like something that could just happen. Like, that could just happen to anybody. It's real as fuck. And Pet Sematary, you're glad it's not real, because if this was a real thing, it'd be really, really, really fucking scary. And I'm like, goddamn, I'm like, it's just like the concept of being able to bring back somebody from the dead, but they come back completely fucked up. It's just like, ugh, that's scary, dude. Oh, yeah, so Pet Sematary, one of the most hardcore movies I'd ever seen. Not the remake, though. The remake's whatever. The Simpsons go to the legendary state of Pennsylvania to fight Mr. Burns, who becomes the king of the vampires. And then Bart gets bit, and he turns all his little goofy-ass friends like Milhouse and Martin into a clique of vampires, just like that movie The Lost Boys. And then Grandpa turns into a goddamn vampire, and his teeth fall out into the goddamn table, and he hits his head on the fucking refrigerator because he's too old. But he's also not that old. You know, Grandpa's Grandpa. He's cool. We respect him. And then Lisa's like, oh, shit. Then there's a whole goddamn family of vampires. And I'm like, oh, shit, that escalated a lot. Real hard, real quickly, what the fuck? But then it turns out Marge, of all people, is the head vampire. And you're just like, what? I wasn't expecting that. Like, I'm really scared of that. Like, how the hell would Marge do it? And then the family's like, all right, happy Halloween, y'all. We're just kidding. Everything's fine. Calm down. Stop crying. And now it's Christmas time and Thanksgiving time. And like, American holidays, you gotta love them. I thought The Shining was just a regular ass movie about some drunk asshole who tries to kill his family in the goddamn mountains, but the more I've seen, there's a bunch of goddamn conspiracies and theories about the fucking movie, and Stanley Kubrick was like a genius, but they say like he was hiding stuff in this. And then there's this one trailer where there's just fucking blood coming out of a goddamn elevator, and you're like, what the hell is this, Stanley Kubrick? Like, what does this have to do with anything? And I guess people like the book so much, they're just like, hell yeah, I want to see that freaking movie. And it's like, but like all of this though, like you're really doing all this to promote this movie? So like, oh shit, you know. I liked old school trailers back in the day where they would just show you random shit and you'd be in the theater, it's like, what the hell was that? I gotta go see The Shining, like right meow. Reanimator is one of the best scary movies ever made. It's about this genius doctor dude who's just like Dexter from Dexter's Lab, but he gets the secret of everlasting life. So like if you die, he has like this magical green glowing serum that he doesn't, they don't explain how he made this. They don't explain that. But if he injects you with this green shit, you will come back to life. Like that green stuff there, glow stick juice, drink it and your organs turn all fucking nuclear. But whenever he does use the fucking potion, it never works out good. There's been 3 Reanimator movies and it's never worked out good for anybody, and I love it. So science is your friend and let's save the planet. Reanimator. Homer makes a time machine, and the way they animate this whole part is amazing. And like the time machine itself has the details that are fucking intense as fuck, and you're like, whoa, Homer, you made that, bro? Like for real? And then when he makes his space toast, he goes back in time, and it's like some Doctor Who ass shit, and it's amazing. Like look at this like space-time continuum vortex that he's traveling through right now with the clocks. And then we get a goddamn cameo from fucking Peabody and Sherman. Not exactly Doctor Who, but still pretty cool. Are there any TARDISes in the background? And then another really cool part is the animation in this part when he's going back in time with the dinosaurs looks fucking amazing. You're like, wow, dude. Homer has a freaking donut problem. We need to have a donut intervention for Homer because he sold his soul for a donut. His head gets turned into a giant donut at one point. Now he's stealing donuts from mascots and causing them to come to life by lightning because they're so pissed at him. And they come to life and they all join together and make a union, and they're like, we're gonna eat all the humans just because this guy wants a giant donut to just lay on top of. It's like, how comfortable would that be? And he's just laying on a giant metal donut. Like, that's just probably icy cold, bro. And then he shows up just like, where my donut at, son? And Marge is like, give him the goddamn donut. And he's like, hell yeah, everything's gonna be fine. But he's like, nah, son. He starts wrecking fucking shit. And the craziest part is he kicks the doll. Wow, dude. After Seymour Skinner and the rest of the teachers become cannibals, they all start eating the rest of the kids from the school, and one by one, literally all the kids are just like hamburgers and sloppy joes, and that's gnarly. And this episode was really scary because the ending has Bart like, oh, it's fine, like we'll be safe, we're the Simpsons kids, and then Milhouse falls in the blender. And he's like, oh, we'll be fine because we're the Simpsons kids. And then the teachers are just like, no, you don't. And then they fall in it. Another really awesomely disturbing part of The Simpsons is when groundskeeper Willie shows up and then he gets axed in the freaking back by Maggie of all people, and then she talks. This is indeed a disturbing universe. Yeah, it is.